Cryptmaster.
I'd like to solve the puzzle.
All right, go ahead.
E.
That's it, yeah.
Joel Gaming here. Today, I bring you a type-based dungeon crawler where you become the necrotic puppets of a sassy demon lord who wants to increase his undead real estate. We begin this endeavor by being revived by our demonic master, the Cryptmaster, who reveals that he cannot remember anything from the past handful of centuries, but requires our help to restore his power and reach the surface world. Initially, our party consists of the brave warrior Joro, who kind of looks like Doom Guy, who is then accompanied by Sin the Rogue, Maz the Bard, and Nyx the Sea Witch. Together, our band of merry, rotting adventurers make their way to our first destination in an attempt of escaping the underground, Rat Town. More specifically, called the Bone Houses. This village is inhabited by rats who claim that it is indeed humans who are the filthy ones and who started the plague.
Carried by humans? Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, okay, buddy. Within this village, we are tasked with pillaging the tombs of 4 renowned heroes in order to acquire their crowns and trick the guard preventing us from speaking to the Pied Piper, the human leader of the rats who can help us venture further upwards. Once we make our way into the tombs, we get a taste of what combat looks like in the game. This game is very reminiscent of other type-based titles, including Typing of the Dead, where the enemy's health bar is composed of letters and we must type out the names of skills in order to use them. Naturally, my ancient reflexes and primitive eyesight required that I lock in long enough to type out simple words. Even so, I thought this mechanic was super cool and led to some intense moments as I prevented an enemy's attack by increasing my words per minute. Skills among our cadaverous crew range anywhere from flat damage, to buffs, to cooldown resets, to guarding, to knockdowns, and even to fish. Moreover, within these tombs, we begin to get a glimpse of a core mechanic within the game, solving riddles. Now, I'd like to think I'm quite the riddler myself, but these riddles were definitely challenging and had me scratching my noggin for a good few minutes each time I encountered one. Riddles in this game are presented in one of 2 ways. Either in the form of chests, where we play 20 questions, but really only get 6 guesses, or in the form of disembodied skulls that ask us riddles and then admonish us when we answer them incorrectly.
Not you stupid bastard.
However, when we do answer them correctly, Master gives us a little treat and we are rewarded in the form of souls. Souls in this game, encased within the soul stone that we acquired in the tutorial level, are our stockpile for words that we use within combat. If we run out, we begin taking damage for using our skills, and our horned leader gets very sad once his pawns all die. Again. As we make our way through the tomb, slowly but surely, we acquire the different crowns from the undead lords by answering their brain teasers, and eventually acquire all 4 crowns that the Cryptmaster compliments us on for how good we look.
Actually looks quite good on you, Maz.
Before delivering the regalia to the Pied Piper, I decided to take a look around where we encounter a helpful rat who provides us with a fishing rod. Now we can catch fish to replenish our souls, in addition to the bugs we've been eating off the walls. Similarly, we meet another rat who implores us to find his son, who plays a prank on us by having us dig up his fart from the ground, before he scurries back to his remorseful dad, who laments that we actually found him. Climbing up the Pied Piper's tower, we encounter the man behind the rats, a musician who asks us to help him develop some Drake Kendrick level diss tracks for the Countess Eulara, who he describes as a, quote, decrepit old countess. We provide some sick rhymes to the Pied Piper,
but when I think of you, I can only taste bile.
who then gives us access to the elevator, operated by his half-rat, half-human hybrid son, who is elated that his dad will spend more time with him now that his song is complete. Just look at this lovable little guy.
Yippee, you did it. I'm so happy I might fall over.
I've unlocked the elevator for you. Good luck, I love you. Hello, cards? Okay, cards. Cards. Now play cards. Cards now.
After ascending the elevator, the Cryptmaster and friends make it to the second level, the Sunken Sea. We rest our weary bones, literally, in the seaside town of Pantry, and begin to make our way up to Countess Ulara's castle, all the while fighting crab people and undead butlers. Shortly before reaching her throne room, there is an altar. Save points placed throughout the game that are occupied by the spirit of Shalia, the goddess of life who aggressively scolds us for each altar we desecrate by either punching, kicking, or peeing on the shrine.
Yes, give it a good soaking.
Not long after, we encounter the Countess Ulara, a blood-drinking member of royalty who asks that we find the, quote, sacred tomes of the gods so that she can finish her vast manga collection. Now at this point, my dilapidated hodgepodge of hamster wheels and car batteries hooked up to what might be called a, quote, computer began to blue screen, causing some of my footage to become corrupted, including the initial encounter with Ulara, as well as earlier in the tombs where we married the illustrious Toad King Goggo.
My loves, welcome home.
But that is a tale for another day. Fortunately, I was able to recover my saves in a backup stored in the %app data folder, and then we began our new side quest. But not before we gave Ulara the Pied Piper's, quote, gift.
King Vitus is the name, I'm the first in my line, and I'ma burn your ears like turpentine. So prithee now, madam, come listen to my song. It packs more muscle than an ogre's thong.
1 hour later.
Was that hideous ditty intended to shock me?
Well, I thought it was pretty good. Now at this point in the game, I found myself genuinely stuck. All the neurons in my brain simultaneously combusted as my small chimp brain could not comprehend the 4 riddles preventing me from accessing the 4 islands needed to progress the game. Through what may have been sheer luck, I was able to decipher the first riddle's cipher using clues hidden throughout previous areas in the game, which then granted us access to the first island of Pain. Interestingly, the bosses in these areas, along with those on the other islands, cannot be hurt directly through spells. Rather, our zombified band of heroes must keep using skills until we guess what each god is renowned for. We make short work of Pain, entrap him in a musty book, and place him in his designated area of Ulara's library. Despite his protests and condemnation of our actions, he is more than willing to engage in a game of cards.
I have been misfiled. Time for a game of cards. Huh?
Cards in this game, that can be played by telling NPCs, quote, whatever, involve selecting 2 letters at a time that correspond to the names of cards that, when complete, activate their abilities. Pretty straightforward for the most part. With that said, as the game progresses, there seems to exist a difficulty curve in which late-game NPCs obtain better cards, prompting me to engage in hour-long card games with the game's smug denizens. Even so, the card game is a fun element of Cryptmaster and breaks up the gameplay loop in a positive way, and for people who do not brute force their way through tasks that require strategy, like me, is an excellent way to earn souls and be creative with different decks. After entrapping Pain for eternity,
Let it out!
we then move on to Klaxo, the god of trickery, whose island is comprised of many bamboozling moments, including how we are required to move through the rooms in a certain order to reach the deceitful deity, and add him to our collection.
We closed the book on him.
Now, I'm gonna be honest, I for the life of me could not figure out these remaining 2 riddles. I think I must have spent a handful of hours scratching my head and smelling smoke from the motor in my head burning out. Thankfully, my friends are more mentally endowed than I am, and were able to help me swiftly solve the remaining 2 riddles.
Yeah. So it's I think it's Rumpus.
Rumpus?
Yes,
What?
that's
Oh,
right.
yeah!
You go and
Look at
stand in the middle.
Subsequently, we reach the island of Loria, deal with her paladins, and then make our way to the island of Is, where we flirt with the goddess of desire before trapping her in a scholastic catalog. We then bring the tomes to Yulara, who grants us access to her observatory that will allow us to progress toward our goal of reaching the surface and unleashing the dead on the inhabitants of the above-ground city. From here, we find ourselves in the area of Downwood, a forested area underground inhabited by wizards like Orthos, who I must have spent a couple hours playing cards against, and paladins who guard the seal that separates the undead and the land of the living.
Whoa, you don't look like paladins.
To progress through this area, the all-seeing eye guarding the seal demands to know what paladin troop we belong to, and, upon failing to give a suitable answer and password, locks us up in a cage with a paladin who gentle parents us into correcting our ways.
What I'm saying is, it's all fine if we just recognise our mistake and then we apologise for it. I think you know the word I need to hear. That's the one.
As we begin to look for 4 paladin helmets that would let us deceive the Eyeball Guardian, we begin to learn more about our undead crew, a theme that emerges throughout the game as we learn new skills. To learn new skills, we acquire letters along our hotbar that, once typed out in their entirety, either provide us with new abilities or give background info into the different members of our heroic crew who once sacrificed themselves to save the city from a great evil.
You know how much I sacrificed?
Joro, we learn, was a powerful warrior who had no equal. Sin was a renowned assassin who was a master at her craft. Maz was a distinguished bard who was an expert writer and musician. And Nyx, who was an influential sea witch who came from royalty. The more I learned about each character, I felt further immersed in the game's story as the world was expanded on through the detailed descriptions of not just the characters' achievements, but their personalities and hardships they faced in life as well. I thought that this part of the game, in addition to the rest of its excellent writing expressed through humor and world building, really engrossed me in the story and made me feel more attached to the outcome of its character.
Now behold, my beloved home of
The Cryptmaster.
a prize worthy of Apollo.
Once acquiring all the paladin helmets, we are granted access to the final level in the game, the High Temple of Audo.
It worked. I did it.
Audo, being the 5th and only hero to survive the great battle from centuries ago, now reigns as the high priest in his castle that looms over the city below. As such, Shalia, as we are about to defile yet another altar of hers, subdues the Cryptmaster for a brief moment to plead to our heroes to once again give their lives for the city to prevent the necromancer controlling us from unleashing hordes of undead on the townspeople. To do so, she asks that we smash the soulstone, protecting the Cryptmaster from the power of the seal that, once destroyed, would unfortunately lead to our demise as well.
Now hurry. The necromancer is fighting back.
What's the reward? As we contemplate our decision, the Cryptmaster regains control and ushers us to press forward. Surprisingly, this is the first point in the game that I found myself getting party wiped, as the paladins occupying High Priest Audo's temple have high damage and several plates of armor that, if not adequately handled by managing cooldowns efficiently, lead to an easy game over screen. Though it required our undead heroes fight tooth and nail, and sometimes run from the paladins, we finally reach Audo, who, despite our legacy,
Old companions.
condemns us for being undead and challenges us to combat.
Seal. And if I must send you back there myself, so be it.
Like his paladins, Audo's difficulty level is also initially bonkers. However, after throwing a literal bomb at him and getting the hang of his cooldowns, we eventually emerge victorious. Thereafter, he drops quite the plot twist on us. Audo lets us know that the Cryptmaster who has been helping us throughout the game is actually his detached soul from when he helped save the city.
Do you hear me, spirit? What have you to say?
Well, that helps explain why the two ghouls look so similar. After the two halves of the same person catfight back and forth, we are eventually prompted to either kill Auto or smash the soul stone.
Smash the stone! No!
Killing Auto results in the first ending of the game, where the narrator lets us know that although, quote, life expectancy and sanitation decreased, brio, or liveliness, and diversity increased.
Who can say? But for now, it seems the Cryptmaster has the final word.
In contrast, smashing the Soul Stone and saving Auto results in the Cryptmaster being defeated for good, and the High Priest ends up building, quote, magnificent mausoleums for his ancient companions to commemorate their second sacrifice. Funnily enough, we can also achieve a third ending, saying no. In doing so, we refuse to pick a side, and the two halves of the same person are forced to come to a compromise, where the living and undead manage to find a way to coexist that challenges, quote, childish notions of black and white by having the two civilizations learn to respect each other's differences. And with that, we end our story and reach the conclusion of Cryptmaster. Although these three endings provide some finality to the game, there are many secrets and achievements that can be uncovered throughout the game. Among them include appeasing a giant crab king that we find in a secret area, solving riddles found within Eulara's library, which I was able to complete one of that rewarded me with a powerful card for games of whatever, and rings that can be acquired through catching rare fish. Despite the fact that I am a loot goblin and love hoarding Steam achievements in hopes of collecting self-coveted blue ribbons, I have accrued quite some playtime on this game, and so I will likely return to it at a later date to fully get all the achievements. With that said, I believe this game is phenomenal and worth investing in to support the developers. Throughout the heavens and earth, Cryptmaster defines itself as an extremely well put together title that has excellent writing, immersive voice acting, and truly funny humor that comes through its unique characters and creativity that is fully utilized with its type-based mechanics. If you're on the fence about getting it, I definitely recommend giving it a try. I found the game to be such a fun and unique experience. Similarly, if you found this video to be fun and unique, give it a like and consider subscribing. Also, if you had any unresolved questions from the game, liked a certain part the most, or have any clues to help me obtain the remaining achievements, comment down below. I try my best to read each and every comment when I can and respond in a timely manner. As we conclude our review, I wanted to thank each and every one of you for watching this video and your continued support. You are all truly amazing, and I hope this video was able to add a little light to your day. Thanks again for watching. Remember, watch what you say around the Cryptmaster, and this is Stroll Gaming, signing off.
Subscribe. No, we're not going to drop everything and do that.